Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, two of the loudest voices in the media, picked against your Bears and went with the Zags. What do you have to say about that?
Well, our team definitely listens to them, and they did a great job getting us excited to play. So I want to thank them both very much. Checks in the mail for both of you guys, and well done.
Coach, I got to tell you something, Coach. I got to put myself on Front Street. You know what? I mean, obviously, when you make predictions, you're not going to be right all the time. Make no mistake about it. I don't know if I've ever been more wrong. I mean, obviously, I did not watch you guys enough this year to see your guards, to see Mitchell and Teague and Butler, so special, to see these guys play the way that they play. That's one thing. But the sheer domination. I sat up there. It was the first time, Coach, I'd ever made a prediction and literally thought I was wrong within 2 minutes. Like 2 minutes into the game, I said, oh, my God, what have I done? I could not believe it. Those first 2 minutes when you guys were crashing the boards and getting offensive rebound after offensive rebound, was that really the game plan to show that physically we're going to dominate you tonight? Was that the plan?
Well, we are the sixth best offensive rebounding team in the country analytically. So we do a great job being physical and getting to the glass. But Stephen A., I got to give you props, man. I mean, you went right to Twitter and you said I was wrong. I made a mistake. And that's why I love you, man. You just keep it real. So, and you know what? In the last 2 years, we are the winningest team in the Power Five. And this group has really been special. And we had that COVID pause for 3 weeks. And who knows, maybe both of us would have been undefeated come the national championship game in Gonzaga. Coach Few is a Hall of Fame coach. They got a great program. And you guys know the difference in college basketball and the NBA. In the NBA, the best team wins because it's 4 or 7. In college basketball, it's 40 minutes. Anyone can have a good game, bad game. So, I mean, Gonzaga obviously didn't have one of their better games. And we have a special group. I mean, 3 of the last 5 seasons, we've been ranked #1. These guys know how to handle pressure. They know how to be in big moments. We have a joy culture. They play for each other. And I appreciate you guys, man. You make sports fun.
Thank you.
Coach, you're being modest and humble and all that, and Mark Few and Gonzaga is a tremendous program. They had a great year, and they were an excellent team. There were several excellent teams. But let's not overstate it here. You guys there are not many college basketball seasons where at the end of the season you go, whoa, that team right there was qualitatively different from everyone else. You got to the Final Four and totally dominated both opponents. And you did it. I'm sure you want to give your team credit, the athletes credit, but they are exceptionally well coached. They showed resiliency, which is a testament to their own character. When Gonzaga made their little run, cut it to single digits but before the half. But the way they were connected on defense, the unselfish play on offense, that's coaching. So I understand you're being modest and everything, but I imagine you and your team heading into this game felt disrespected. Wait, we just beat the hell out of Houston. They barely got by UCLA. We're underdogs.
Yeah. Well, and that's where we got a group that really rises to the occasion. The better the opponent, the bigger the challenge, the better they play. And it's fun coaching a group like that. But to me, this is my 18th season at Baylor, and all those players that put in all the work to get us to this level. For all the fans that have been with us through the lean years, rebuilding years, our administration that support us. This is a win for them. This is a win for Waco. It's a win for Texas. You know, we ain't won a national championship since 1966. They did a movie on that team, Texas Western. So. We got so many great athletes and players and programs in Texas. Really excited to bring the national championship home to them.
Coach, interesting question for you. You got a lot of people that look at this year and what we've all endured in terms of COVID. Obviously, college basketball had its challenges. Some people think that's what makes a championship this year even more valuable because of what you had to endure to get through it. Others believe that, you know what, so many people were compromised that maybe that's not the case. Where do you stand with that, and explain why, please?
Well, last year we were poised to be a #1 seed, and we had Devontae Bandu and Freddie Gillespie and Tristan Clark never had a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. And as a coach, is probably first or second toughest thing I've ever had to do. Go in and say we're not playing March Madness. And I can tell you that every player this year that came back, they are so appreciative and glad and happy the NCAA was able to put on March Madness, that the schools provided the medical care and attention so that they could play. I mean, think about it. If you got a son and he spends 14 years trying to get to a level where he can play in an NCAA tournament, and then he doesn't have that opportunity, because not everybody's going to the NBA. Not everyone's playing after college. Some people, this is it. They work their entire lives for this opportunity. And I can tell you, we're just all blessed and fortunate that we had an NCAA tournament this year. And, you know, when games get canceled, every time you play, you don't have to motivate as a coach. They're just excited to play. So hats off to everyone that made this year possible.
Yeah, and as fans of basketball, we were also very excited too. The men's and women's tournament both didn't disappoint. Coach, you mentioned the thin years, and I'm a sucker for a good comeback story and someone who really puts in the work. So I want to go back to that because I mentioned this earlier. The Baylor program really did hit rock bottom 2003. I'm looking at my notes here. One player charged with murdering a teammate, former head coach Dave Bliss hiding illicit payments, other NCAA violations. Then you were hired, and look where we are now. How hard was that journey getting Baylor back to the top of basketball?
Well, Stephen A. and Max would have loved our first year, you know, because we only had 5, 6, 7 scholarship guys, depending on the time of the year. So we had like 6 walk-ons, and not only could they be on the team, but they actually could play. So, I mean, you go into games and you're 30 and 40-point underdogs, you're really coaching hard just to give yourself a chance. But those guys laid the foundation. And from there, you go to 2 Elite Eights in 2010, 2012, and then you go to some Sweet 16s. You get to, like I said, ranked first 3 out of the last 5 years. And you know what? Since 2008, only us and Kansas in the Power 5 have won 18 or more games. So we've been consistent.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.